Again, same process. You want to make sure you lubricate the cut a little bit. And being that we have a molding that was trimmed off on the top of this, I think maybe what we'll do is we'll lubricate the inside top as well so that the blade gets a hold of it. There's a little bit of concern that there's some urethane adhesive oozed out down on the driver's side pillar, but the cold knife blade should have no problem getting by it. And that's it. It's out. And there you have it. Saved a fairly expensive windshield in a relative short amount of time with not too much effort, actually. And now if you look at the vehicle, and you can see the top where the remnants of the old molding is still there, and basically all the urethane that was underneath that glass is still attached to the vehicle. The glass itself is pretty smooth. A couple things I want to point out. The glass has been removed, as you can see, and if you'll notice on the pinch weld, all the way around is basically the entire bead of glue that was used on the install. Now, one important thing when using a power cold knife blade, like I mentioned in the removal, is this Velcro tab. And the reason for this is because this Velcro tab is going to give you a little protective cushion between the E-coat on the pinch weld and the paint. Because if you're going down here, you'll notice the blade right down here, we were really tight in the bottom corner. Well, that Velcro gives it a cushion between the blade and the E-coat to keep from damaging that. So if you look around it, you'll see that we haven't hit an E-coat anywhere at all. We haven't impeded the paint. We haven't damaged any surfaces. We haven't damaged the pillar molding from the inside, where normally on an R&R you'd have to remove this. We haven't damaged the little felt noise strip at the bottom. But that's pretty much it. I just really wanted to point out the fact that the Velcro tab does serve a very specific purpose. Basically what we're going to do, when you're using the cold knife blade, the yellow one's cut to the edge of the glass.
Okay.
So what you want to do is anywhere we can find an access point to get it started, we get it started.
And that's a push. You push it, you said, right?
Yeah, but don't force it. Let the tool do the work. Just kind of guide it along.
Okay.
You'll feel it start to work. When you're using the cold knife blade in there, just kind of back the power down, because what that does is that it increases the stroke of the tool.
Okay.
So you get better cutting action. Easiest thing to do.
Just start at an access point and push across.
Yeah, and the easiest thing to do, Larry, is not be afraid of it. I usually put a finger back here and push to get it started as I'm firing up the tool. You know what I mean?
Push it in all.
Yeah,
there
exactly,
you go.
just like that. And you basically want to keep the same angle you do with your cold knife. Make sure it stays lubricated good. Back the back end of the tool down a little bit, because we're cutting to the back edge of the glass.
The back end down?
Yeah, there you go.
How do you feel if it's on the glass? This is supposed to be on the glass or on the body on this?
On the glass. That'll cut right to the back edge of the glass. And what I'll do is I'll hop over here and catch it off of you. I'll give you a tip. If you keep your hands out from underneath it, hold the tool like this, you can get the back end down a lot lower.
Oh, okay.
And then just go right along it. See what I mean?
Okay. So just...
Yeah, I mean, the less you have between the tool and the glass, the better plane you get on it. The better plane you get on that cold knife.
Does it matter which way the blade goes into the tool?
No, but the flat side of the blade, you want against the glass. If you put it in the other way, all you simply, the controller cap is designed so that either side has the same angle. If you look at these two right here,
Sure.
that angle is the same as this side. So really doesn't make any difference how you put the tool in there, as long as you know the flat blade is against the glass. Right. So now we're going to switch to a cold knife blade, and this is going to take a minute or two of getting used to. The idea is, once we get it changed, we're going to introduce the blade to the adhesive, and then you're going to have to find a good plane. Once it hits a good plane, basically what you want to do is try and keep the tool parallel to the surface of the body, and it should kind of buzz right around there. What you want to do when you start it in is, I do it like this. I hold it in this hand to start it, and what I do is, right where I want to start it in there, and I just push with this thing.
Underneath the encapsulation?
Yeah, because this isn't sharp on this side, and I just get it in there and get it started. Like that.
There's no need to trim off anything here?
No.
Allow more room for the blade?
Nope, we should be fine. There you go. When you get it on the right plane, you'll see it'll just start to go. Don't force it. You know, you don't want to push the tool. Lift the back side up. Okay, there you go. Back of the tool. There you go. Back of the tool up. And then you see that's where we hung up the last time. But I think what happened is we were forcing the tool and it caught the back side of the encapsulation. And then it wanted to bind up on us. Now what's going to happen when you get towards the end here, okay, we're probably going to have a stringer here because this blade's running the metal and the yellow blade was running the glass. So we're probably going to have that difference in urethane right there in the stringer.
Sure.
We may have to just snip off with a long knife. You know what I mean? Yeah, just watch the fender.
Is what I need to learn is how to properly hold and balance that tool. Yeah, to me, coming around the corner here was a tough spot, and of course, not being used to a blade that cuts down to the metal versus against the glass was another obstacle to clear. It was an encapsulated windshield. It took out the process of having to trim away moldings, so you were able to use a cold knife. Definitely would save you a little time as far as not having to cut off encapsulations. I guess that would probably be the key.
The time that you may lose during that learning curve, okay, the time you may lose is saving your body. Just think of it that way. If it takes you 3 minutes longer, I mean, that 3 minutes is worth your shoulder. Yeah, see, Mike, you might want to do it out here.
Outside?
Yeah, it'll be a little easier for you. Wrap your hand underneath the tool like this, your right hand. Nope, like this. Put this one on the tool itself.
On this one?
There you go, and take your other hand out.
Okay.
And put your other hand on top of the car. There you go. Now you can stand there and kind of look down here and see the blade tip. There you go. Nice. Up a little bit. There you go. Through the stop.